Hey there, my name's Corey, and today we're going to build some firewood piles. So, I tried a few different things first. First of all, I grabbed some twigs, obviously, here. And my plan was to cut a bunch of firewood, and then glue them into stacks. I cut them into the small log shapes, and I attempted to do it with some clippers. That didn't work so well. You can do it with an X-Acto blade, like I'm going to show you here in a second. I ended up resorting to a hobby saw, which you'll see at the end. But the other thing I tried to do was cut these in halves to try to get that triangle shape. Well, wanted to do quarters, but as soon as I tried to do halves, it just did not work. So I left them as this, because otherwise the bark would have come off and it just would have not looked right using real wood. You can see there, what I did was push in with the X-Acto blade and twist using a lot of pressure back and forth until it came through and I was able to snip off a bit. Here, you're going to see me using the hobby saw. I have not used a hobby saw much, and so this is probably my most painful cut out of the whole bunch. This is the one I had the most trouble with. I figured I would use this just to show you that, hey, everybody has hiccups. Not everything's perfect at all times, but by the end of myself using this saw, you'll see that I was doing okay. But yeah, I had trouble positioning this where I wasn't just like digging into my cutting mat and then also getting it to bite into the wood and then not just ripping at the end. You'll see it came off, but there were pieces that kind of had to peel off. Here you'll see what I did was a little bit of a mixture between the X-Acto blade and the saw, where I cut a bit, twisted, and then kept cutting. I have it sped up, but you see here, much better. And then all I did was hot glue them together. This whole process was a little bit of experimenting here and there, but I knew it would be very simple. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Now, these look, you'll see the final shot coming up here in a second, these look a little bit different than the wood in the bonfire, but honestly, they still fit the feel of what I wanted to go for, which is piles of firewood near buildings and stuff, just a little bit of extra scatter terrain. Here you go. And even on a simple, small project like this, I was suggested this by one of my viewers, still requires a little experimenting. Make sure you go out there and experiment with your hobby.